All right. Yeah, go ahead.
Why do you wear black?
I said that was hard to use, but I think I went black because of my should I say childhood story. My childhood story. I was like the middle born, and the middle born they don't give you attention. You just they see as a what something to be discarded. So I felt like I was very invincible, and I really wanted to be more invincible because nobody really cared. So every time they gave me anything apart from black, I felt very irritated. So but black was like a color that I felt like made me invincible in the darkness. Plus, they laughed at me when I was very, very small because I was very black. So I felt like, let me just be black forever. And just because I tried using bleaching cream when I was in high school, but it did not work, and I'm grateful for that. So yes, my black is strong. Yeah. Childhood trauma is why I wear black.
Because you want to be invisible.
Yeah, so back then I was wearing black, like I said, as a form of as a way of coping with my lack of attention. So I can be invincible. So you know what? They don't give me attention. But when it comes to errand, I was the first person they considered. So it felt very irritating. So I said, you know what? Let me just maybe if I wear black, I'll be invincible and nobody will get to see me. So yeah, it came from childhood situations. Eh,
Do you have any bad habits?
I'll say yeah, that what makes us human, right? Bad habits. I'll say I have a couple of bad traits that I think I have. Um, Narcissistic, like super. Um, I'll say manipulative. Yeah, yeah. I'll put it that way. So I think I have a couple of bad traits here. Narcissist, manipulative. Yeah, I think I work on them when I see the need to work on them. If I see the need to work on them.
You are saying you're actually saying this as if you're proud of it. Is this something to be
I
proud
would
of?
say something that has helped me see the world in a different way. So, for example, is the people who are manipulative. I think we have gotten to a stage where we think that every bad trait should not be taken care of. But no, someone who's manipulative, but who has people's good intention at heart. What do they call him? Persuasive. Oh, he knows how to sell. He's a good salesman. Someone who's a narcissistic, right, and still has good intentions. Those are the ones that are very successful, and they create solutions for most of the people because they think of themselves first. We live in a world that we tell people to think of others before themselves. But what really happens is most people don't have anything to give back because they're taking so much from them. They have nothing to give. But I say as a narcissist, I take what I want for myself first. Then I can think of giving others. You get the point now? So I give others that with me, not just give because I want to give sake. So I think so that's something I think I like thinking about myself then. After I have, I give, not before I have.
So you are not ready to like get rid of them now.
Serving their purpose right now. Yeah. So every good or bad habit has its purpose. It's about knowing, or good or bad trait has its purpose, about knowing what the purpose is, right? And then if you feel like you see need that purpose, then keep it. If you don't need it, if you feel like it's disturbing you from where you want to be in life, then you throw it away. That's it. Because we're humans, and to some extent, it's like when people say, "I went to the gym because of my mental health." That's a very big fat lie. Everyone improves based on vanity. Everybody is driven by vanity. Then after you have achieved the vanity, like for example, you go to the gym because you want to have a better body than somebody else, or because you have been bullied before. At some point, you change it, and your mind you say, "Oh, I went to the gym because of health." Oh, no, so I'm not changing shit yet. I think I have a couple of bad traits too. Go ahead. Hey.
So when and how did you discover your bad habits?
It's become as a shock to people, but I discovered my bad habits by the friends that kept around me. I feel like everyone should have good friends that tell you the truth. So when my friends kept on talking about my anger issues, I had to look into it because that was one thing I realized was destroying me a lot, anger problems. And two was by self-reflecting. I'll tell you that when somebody wants to insult you, they look for the deepest part of you and bring that as an insult. And if it pains you, it means that that thing is true and you have to correct that stuff. So My friends talking about me in my front, even though they sugarcoated it. The insults they gave to me when we pick a fight, because friends fight, true friends fight. The third part was self-reflecting on things that are disturbing me from getting to where I want to go, how I was able to discover that I had some things I had to get rid of. Anger, I'll say lost. Anger, lost. Yeah. Aggression. Although I'm thinking of becoming slightly more aggressive than I am right now. So I think yeah. So yeah, that's how I did it, friends. That were willing to tell me the truth. That's my name. What's funny now?
What was your favorite parent?
I don't know. Well, my favorite friend was my dad. My father, regardless. I mean, shout out to my mom, but because my dad was one that gave me the beliefs and values. Things like discipline, hard work, understanding, patience, right? That's what my dad gave to me. I feel like everything my dad taught me was what I'm using to keep myself sane all this while. So I think it was my dad. And he lived that by example. So that's why I feel like he was my most important. Yeah. Regarding my improvement and my well-being, the way I carry myself. Yeah, my dad.
You said you were neglected from.
Yeah.
So is it from your mom's side or?
No, when I say neglected is I think it's both of them. My dad was always in the house, was always away from the house. At some point he started taking us to the office. But for most of the time, he was away from the house. So what that means is I'm not seeing my mom, my aunts, siblings. So I was still going to give birth to my junior brother. So what that means is, bro, if you can walk by yourself, you will be fine. So attention was on my junior brother, which at the time, I say as kids, navigating it would have been a problem, but I feel like it's been one of my greatest gifts, navigating life alone. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. I think shout out to all the kids that were born in the middle age though. The middle born kids. Are going through a lot. You went through a lot, but it's alright. What's funny now?
So I'm going to like skip this. What did you learn from your father? Because you said it. You
Yeah.
said
Yeah.
discipline.
Alright.
So what was your toughest challenge you faced as a child?
I feel like the toughest challenge I faced as a child, which most people face, okay. The toughest challenge I faced as a child, like most people face, is understanding what the fuck is going on. Right? As a child, you're trying to navigate why. The toughest challenge was the fact that nobody wanted to hear what the fuck I wanted to say. So I'm in the midst of everybody. My other brother says something, everyone laughs. Everyone gets the vibe. I talk and everyone's like, what the fuck asked you to talk? So understanding the fact that I was saying rubbish, like literal rubbish, then so I started talking when I was like very, very late. So trying to have people understand what I was saying was a problem. Trying to communicate was a problem. So whenever I talk, I say rubbish. And then that turned into being introvert. And I became introvert up until my maybe late teenage years, early 20s, which kind of like grew into me. And I don't know, it sort of turned into some form of like, should I say, shyness or something. So, yes, I feel like that's lack of communication caused deep rooted problems. Yeah, lack of attention and communication caused deep rooted problems, which led to introversy. Yeah, that's my biggest problem.
You said when your elder brother says something, you laugh. Or
When I spoke, yeah, I felt very visible.
is it that what you are saying to you makes sense? Or
Yeah, to me, it made sense now.
but to them, it
Then
didn't.
it did make sense. And again, any ideas I brought when I was small was kind of like trashed. It was like he doesn't know what he's saying. So my elder brother was like 5 years ahead of me. So every time I spoke, just felt like nobody was listening. Like literally nobody was listening. So I was like, you know what, let me just keep quiet. So it happens. Extroverts.
So What's a self-improvement mistake most people don't realize they're making?
So the biggest mistake people make when it comes to improving their lives is thinking that you can watch one or two videos and take someone's solution as your solution. The best way to improve yourself is to start doing something. Then when you start doing things, you discover that some part of you is fucked up, right? Then you begin to fix that thing that's fucked up. What most people end up doing is they go and watch all these videos on how to improve themselves. But you're taking a problem somebody had, which you may not have, right? So, for example, you're starting a business. You discover that you are spending more on yourself than the business. You have a discipline issue, not a money routine issue. So the biggest mistake is taking people's you want first of all not even know what you want, right? And trying to use somebody's solution as your own is the biggest problem I see people face in the self-improvement space.
Why do young men need to become dangerous?
Yeah, a lot of young men need to become dangerous because first of all, that's where capability comes from. Two is you need to become dangerous because when I say dangerous is a lot of men need to know how to fight. And the reason is because the men who know how to fight are the men that know how to protect, truly, and the men that are the least capable of starting a fight. A man who knows how to fight will first of all use his brains before using his calls to hit people. It's when you have weak men that don't know how to fight, are always the first to throw punches. And then learning how to fight will guarantee that you respect everybody. Because every single fight school I have gone to, I've noticed that there are all sorts of people there. All sorts. So that means is if you're on the road, you never can tell who can fight. So you're going to respect everybody. So when you become dangerous, you get to realize your potential of danger. And you get to realize that other people too can also commit danger. So you're the one that's there to protect people. That's why I say yes, men need to become dangerous. Not capable of danger. Yeah,
In a good way.
yeah, with good intentions, yeah.
Yeah, good intention. Thank you.
Dangerous is dangerous. Danger is danger, basically.
So, what's most important, time or money?
Speaking of the most important thing, the most important thing anybody can have is not his time or his money, actually. They will tell you, focus on your money. That is what poor people focus on. Rich people focus on what? Their time. The smart people focus on their attention. It takes what? Less than a second for you to see a YouTube thumbnail and your time is wasted. Think about it. So what your most important thing is your attention. It only takes you 2 seconds to see a news headline and your time is already gone. So smart people realize that if you can control your attention, it's easier for you to control your time. And if you can control your time, it's easier for you to control your money. So ultimately, your most important asset is your attention, not your time, not your money. I didn't put that attention there intentionally.
Oh, okay. Because I was lost.
Yeah.
What mistakes do beginners at the gym make?
I think when it comes to the gym, the biggest mistake that people make is they come to the gym with the wrong mindset. When you are new to the gym, you come into the gym, you see people who maybe you're older than or you're taller than, you want to do what they are doing. I'm like, no, you are a beginner at the gym. Start with beginner workout. 1, 2, don't compare your results of somebody who has been working out for 5 years. And 3, stop bringing those stupid social media workouts into the gym. Be humble enough. So it's the wrong beginners coming to the gym with the wrong mindset. They're not humble enough and not patient enough to see through the results and stop comparing themselves with other people.
Do you have to use supplements to build muscles? Because most people use it.
Most people get this thing wrong about supplements. Supplement is supposed to supplement your diet. It means that your diet is almost there, while the supplement is to aid your diet. But these days, some people have completely shitty diets, and they think they can use a supplement on a shitty diet. So no, you don't need supplements. If you have a very good diet plan, you don't need supplements. So that's the honest answer. And supplements, by the way, are actually they're becoming more dangerous than what we expect these days.
How do you cultivate a healthy habit and lifestyle?
That's good.
Thank you. What are the best workouts for beginners?
The best workouts for beginners are the ones that are, first of all, simple. Do your bench press. You can do your push-ups. If you must lift, sorry, okay, sorry. The best workouts for beginners are the ones that are very, very simple. If you want to use your body weight, push-ups, pull-ups, dips. If you want to use if you want to lift weights, bench press, curls, squats, sit-ups. Basically, don't go to the gym doing Bulgarian splits as a beginner. Don't go to the gym because it's also random YouTube videos or some random Instagram videos thinking that you as a beginner can try those things out because the people who you see on your Instagram have been there for years. So they've been in the gym for years. So stop bringing that stupid mentality and start with something that's simple and less risky.
Should beginners go to gym every day? Should they gym every day?
So I'm a very big believer that beginners should gym every day because the problem of beginners at the gym is not intensity. It is one mindset and consistency. When you go every day, you force yourself to create a system where you can go to gym every day. One, two, yeah, you have fixed up the consistency problem. Two, when you go to the gym every day and you are slowly progressing, it will help you with your mindset. Especially when you come to the gym with a very humble mindset. You don't come to the gym thinking that you can lift 100 kg overnight. No, you show up every day to fix your consistency and your mindset. So I tell my beginners to go to the gym every day. I mean, 6 times a week minimum.
6 times a week.
Yeah, you can rest on Sundays. Although we don't rest on Sundays.
Sorry. Okay. What's the biggest fitness myth you once believed?
The biggest lie I see people believe in this fitness industry is you have to work out for 2 hours. No, not at all. It's a very big lie. It's not a big lie. It's an advice that came to professional bodybuilders because of recent times, there are people now who are at the gym who are not bodybuilders. So when bodybuilders give that advice, some people who did not understand, they believed it as a truth. But what I tell you is, if you're not a bodybuilder, 1 hour or 45 minutes at the gym is quite enough if you know what you are doing. So yes, the biggest lie is you need to work out for 2 hours. Yeah.
What's your non-negotiable daily healthy habit?
I believe my personal non-negotiable every day is meditation and working out. Either taking a walk or meditating in my room before I move into action. Those two are non-negotiable. Even though I skip my meditation in the morning, meditating while I'm walking is still beneficial. So walk every day at least as the minimum you can do. I have the minimum steps. I just take a walk based on some time and I meditate while I'm walking. No earphones.
Okay. What's the best relationship you've ever received?
Relationship advice.
Is the advice?
Yeah, maybe my ink. Maybe that was my ink finished, or I may have skipped it. That's what I meant to read. You want to hear my story? Yeah. You want to my story?
What's the best relationship advice you've ever received?
I think the Gen Z has lost it when it comes to relationships, right? The best relationship advice I have received from an elderly man is what makes a relationship successful is beliefs and values that you guys connect on. So that means if you don't have beliefs and values that you people share, every other thing you're wasting your time. We've prioritized love that is fleeting because love is a fleeting emotion. You have it today, tomorrow is gone. When you know that two of you believe and value the same thing, it's easier for you to pass it down to your kids. It's easier for you to have common grounds when things go wrong. So yeah, beliefs and values is the best relationship advice. In one relationship advice I think I've gotten again, right? I think this is of recent times, this is based on my thinking is we are all used to this whole idea of what we don't want in a relationship, right? But people don't really know what they want. And I always tell people that if you know what you don't want, if you know what you don't want in a relationship, it's easy for you to think about the opposite and then you know what you want in a relationship. So that's one of the best advice I've gotten so far. I think one relationship advice that I've gotten that's changed my mind is you have to know what you want from a partner, for a fact. Most people don't know what they want. They often know what they don't want. And the problem is when you know what you don't want, your mind would naturally go to that. That's why you see a lot of guys are dating baddies, but they don't want to get married to them. But guess what? They get married to baddies. So the real life hack here is know what you want. And if you don't know what you want, at least you know what you don't want, your red flags. And find the opposite of that. It's common sense. But I believe common sense is not common.
What's your greatest life philosophy about judging people?
I remember when Linda KG gave birth to her child and the man refused to marry her. And people were like, oh, she too used to laugh at other people for doing stupid things. And then then it dawned on me that the Bible said, judge not unless ye be judged. What it basically means is when you judge other people, automatically, that thing you're judging them for is going to come back to you. So what I do is whenever I see people doing stuff, right, I'll be like, okay, that's their business. Now the beautiful part about this is that at the same time, you have to be judgmental. What that means is that you don't take wife intentions to a whole. You don't take, that may sound disrespectful, but you don't take, hold on, you don't take gold to a lion. Those two things are precious, but a lion has no use for gold. Same way I'm looking for a better analogy for that. Hold on, please. When you're judgmental, hold on. You will not make a tech bro plan a party. Because the reason he's a tech bro, the reason that's not his thing. So when you're judgmental, you know where to place people, perfect. But when you judge people by, okay, okay, when you judge people, you say people are good, people are bad. When you're judgmental, you see that everything is useful, right? Only in the context. Nothing is good, nothing is bad. So you know where to place people when you judge people with understanding. You don't get.
What's the difference between judgmental and judging people?
So one of my best philosophies on not judging people is, after looking at Linda Cage's story, how she used to laugh at baby mamas and she eventually became a baby mama. I just laugh at my elder brother because at some point he was failing in class. But later, magically, I was asked to repeat the class because I failed woefully. It made me realize that, reflecting back, that when you judge other people, like the Bible said, judge not unless ye be judged. That means when you judge somebody, automatically, for some weird reasons, the mind will make you repeat what you judged, right? So at the same time, the Bible said you should be judgmental. Then after reflecting on this, what it basically meant is, when you judge people, you say this is good, this is bad. But when you are judgmental, it is, this is what is going on, right? What use is this, right? Okay, this person is a baby mama. At least she has a child. Some people don't have kids. This person is poor. At least he's alive. Some people are dead and rich, right? So the whole point is, instead of saying things are good or bad, figure out why did God create it? Because God created every single thing. That's the difference between being judgmental and judging other people. Or we do philosophy.
What's your greatest philosophy on other people's life?
So when I was small, I used to think that other people had life figured out. One thing I kind of realized is everybody is figuring out their own lives. Everybody, whether it's a president, he's a pastor, he's trying to figure out life, and he's trying to know that, and you know that because of his figuring out life, nobody is smarter than you. They may only have experiences more than you, but eventually nobody is smarter than you. Yeah, it's a sad world to live in. Everyone is doing gadgets.
Are you in a current relationship?
No, not yet.
Did you pause to answer the
No,
question?
I had something in my throat, like gas.
Eh,
What?
nothing. No. Okay.
You have something for me? Ngozi.
Okay. So no. Why?
I've always had this idea that when you are in a relationship, you are there for a purpose. So I think it's before now, I didn't see the purpose of it, but I think I'm getting to that period where I think I should now start looking for somebody. So I think I'm at that stage where I'm looking for somebody. What I'm seeing now is not what I think I want. So I think yeah. And again, what I'm seeing is not what I think I want. Let's put it that way, safer that way.
So this question I'm about to ask now is out of the box here.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, from the old podcast questions.
Yeah.
The reason why you've not dated or is it because of your trauma?
I would say If it is high school,
Yeah.
if it was high school, that would have been part of it. If it was high school. If it was uni, I kind of realized that most of the girls I've ever seen were not really looking at my side. One, two. My dad used to give me a particular quote, right? And I think that quote was what hit me hard most of my life. I won't say it was even that one, because my dad would say, when you're ready to marry, you get to realize that the girls you're looking at, even at your uni days, are not as beautiful as you think. It began to hit me when I noticed that these girls were not stuff. Like they were not like the girls I liked like 6 months ago was not really ish. One, two was in my university days, I could tell that some people were more attractive than others. And at some point, when they get to a certain age, they felt different. So I think that my dad's philosophy stuck to my head that all this beauty and all these looks, they fade away. So look out for the character more than the beauty and the looks. So I think that was what affected my thinking regarding relationships. Even till this day. Because looks will fade like mad.
Why are men becoming misogyn-
Misogynistic.
misogynistic?
So I feel like men these days are beginning to hate women more because they don't understand some things, right? When we were small, we were told this is how women were. But growing up and seeing that women were different from what we were told it's causing this problem in the minds of men. So what's eventually going on is guys, yeah, guys will go out there. Sorry, let me retake that question. Hold on. So a lot of guys are beginning to hate women more these days because one, they were told how innocent women were when they were young, but growing up they kind of saw that was not the truth. One, two is we have a lot of content that is, I would say, exposing women's true nature, but because these guys still have the wrong ideas in their head and they don't understand about women's true nature, they begin to think that women are liars, or women are what's that? What are you reading?
A question.
Didn't you rewrite it?
I did.
So why is it looking strange to you?
So it's that question that I asked. Do you want it like present or like past?
Okay.
This dating life, like
Has it been? Okay.
Has
Yeah,
it
has it
been?
been? So that would take up the past and the potential present. Hold on. Okay. So a lot of men are the way men are beginning to hate women these days are different because one, growing up, guys believed a lot of lies about women, right? One, two is, and when these men try to show young boys the true nature of women, it feels like everything they knew about women, one, is a lie. Two, they don't want to calm down to understand why women are like that. So, for example, they say women want the best men they can find. So they insult women and call women gold diggers. And it's not that women are gold diggers. Women just want the men that they believe has the best potential for their kids. So the problem now is that the lack of proper mentors online is a big problem, and why men are becoming more misogynistic these days. Yeah.
how has your dating life been like?
How would dating life be like? Interesting. It's of recent times. I mean, recent times about 3 years ago, I began to take dating serious, right? I've been this guy who has been lucky in his shell, just doing his thing, grinding as hard as possible. So it's very recent since I started even looking at options on the market. Yeah. Although I've been in a relationship and a couple of situationships, but mindlessly.
It is confused.
Yeah, exactly. You get the point. Now, got this with that.
Yeah.
All right.
What's something you believed as a kid that turned out to be very wrong?
Hold on. What did I believe as a kid that turned out to be very, very wrong? A lot of things that I grew up as a kid, and I'll say I believe that a lot of things I believe as a child, but growing up, I discovered that they were very, very wrong. I would say religion. Almost everything. A lot of things I believe are completely wrong. One, religion. That Christianity is this magical religion that when you have it, when you're a Christian, all your problems are solved. That was a very big fat lie. One big fat lie I think I've also believed is the fact that life is in this linear manner. You're giving birth, so you go to school, you get a job. After a job, you find a wife, you get married. That is a very big fat lie. Life is not linear. Life has its ups, has its downs. And if you want to live a life that you truly want to enjoy, you have to live a life that's completely honest to you. Yeah. So that's the lie that I think I really believed.
Do you have insecurities or have you had insecurities?
Everyone has insecurities, and most of my insecurities came from childhood, where I felt ignored, neglected, and I feel like the insecurities that I had is what made me who I am today. So I believe insecurities are a gift in disguise. Yeah, I had insecurities, and I think I still have some insecurities that I'm working on, and that's what makes us grow. Insecurities, because if you don't have them, then they don't need to grow, and when you don't see a need to grow, it declines certain.
How do you handle your insecurities?
So how I handle my insecurities, I believe that every insecurity plays a role, right? So I ask myself, do I need to handle this one right now? So if I need to handle it right now, I handle it right now. So for example, it's insecurity of talking to women, I handle that. Insecurities as using money to validate myself, I have handled that. So insecurities are there, but I believe that you handle them based on what you want to achieve right now. It's how I treat my insecurities. And I treat them based on what I want to achieve right now. So yeah, solve them, I guess.
Hmm?
Yeah, that's how I solve them. I look for the one that's a current threat, and I fix it now. Yeah.
What's your definition of success now versus when you were younger?
So I know a lot of people won't believe this, but when I was much younger, my definition of success was go to school, have a nice paying job, have a family, and we're good to go. Show off as much wealth. But growing up, I kind of realized that success is how you live your life. Did you get what you truly wanted? If money was not a problem, right? Will I live the life I want to live? So that's where my level of success, the definition of success changed as I grew up. Yeah, living the life you really want, not the life that society tells you to live.
Why is there a gap between two generations, millennials versus Gen Z?
So there's a very big problem between millennials and Gen Z. The problem is simply because we are yet to understand ourselves. And we have lost a sense of purpose, right? Is things have always worked, but we don't know why they work. So because we don't know why they worked, we threw them away. For example, things like values like respect. Gen Z were not told why people should be respected. They're just forced. They're just told respect people. And when you tell people to respect people, when they have a choice to not respect people, guess what? They will end up disrespecting people. So because of that lack of purpose, because millennials didn't even know why they're doing a lot of things, and Gen Z was like, you know what? I'm not going to do them because you did them. And that's causing a lot of problems. So I feel like one, lack of understanding, two, lack of reason why things were created in the first place. A lot of Gen Zs don't know why marriages existed in the first place. So guess what? They're like, whether we marry or we not, or we get married, we plan to divorce in the next 2 or 3 years. Imagine. So the lack of understanding and lack of reason why is the biggest problem between millennials and Gen Z.
Why does it feel like people are getting dumber?
Dumber.
Yes, dumber every day.
I feel like people are getting dumber every day, and it's bad because of. I feel it's because of all this. It feels like everybody around the world get the average IQ is reducing day by day, and I feel because of maybe a couple of things. One, what things that go viral on social media, I call them brain rotting content. They don't help anybody become smarter. They just help people. It's the attention span is reducing. It's obvious. Social media is the reason for that. The diets you have these days are the most common diets, like mostly carbs, sugar, oil, fats, and sugar, oil, salt. They are kind of like they don't promote proper brain growth. So I feel like the diet, social media, and lifestyle is making people feel very, very stupid these days. It's almost like it's reducing the average IQ.
Okay.
Powerful. Your influencer just got into trouble.
What's a controversial opinion you have about life?
One of my most controversial opinions about life is one, religion is the biggest problem we have on earth. At the same time, people need religion. Like, it's crazy that religion has caused most of the craziest wars since the turn of history, and it's a leading cause of death, ironically. But if you take out religion, humanity will be worse off than with religion. So it's almost like we have to keep religion there, even though it's making people do a lot of stupid things.
So, what belief do you have 5 years ago that turned out to be completely wrong? We've answered that.
Yes, why aren't you taking it?
No, this is like you wrote it again.
Maybe that's a mistake.
What weird hobby or interest do you have that most people don't know about?
Fighting. Yeah, in as much as I like to play, I still like to fight. So yeah, I have this. It's very very weird. Even saying it's like talking to people and like I like to fight. It's like, bro, like who the fuck likes to fight? But not like to fight like killing people, but like to fight like just exploring different things on how to injure people. But it's weird. It's a humbling experience. So like I say.
What's the difference between a simp and a gentleman?
I think most gentlemen are afraid of saying that they are gentlemen because they may be called simps. The difference between a simp and a gentleman is a simp does things so that a woman can validate him. But a gentleman does things because he has already validated or the woman has proved a point already. So that's the difference. Simp is doing it so that the woman can validate him. The gentleman is doing this because he has validated the woman already. So same gestures, but different intentions.
What's the best stress reduction techniques you have?
Meditation.
Meditation.
Meditation will help you detach from any situation. So if somebody is probably grieving and the person is used to meditating, it's easy for the person to separate themselves from the grief, right? So stress, sleep. If you have proper sleep, stress tends to go down. And again, just do less of stupid things. Less stupid things will make you less stressed. So those are my stress techniques. Anything beyond that is complicated.
What do you mean by stupid things?
When you over scroll social media, stress tends to go up. You can begin to compare yourself with other people. When you compare yourself is a stupid thing, and people do a lot on social media. What else would I call as stupid? Working hard on something that you don't want to do for the rest of your life. To me, is very stupid because you only have one life to live. So yeah, that's what I'll call stupid things.
Why is masculinity very hard for most guys?
But the masculinity seems like it's very hard for most guys because we are born into a very comfortable period. I'll be fed this lie that we'll be fed this lie over and over again that men should be less harsh on themselves. So it's almost like they're getting conflicting messages. On one side, the men are saying, "Guy, man up and do your stuff. Be responsible. Have self mastery." On the other hand, you have people who are telling men to, "Don't worry, it's all right. Cry. Feel safe. Do things that you really want to do. Be in touch with your feminine side." So it's conflicting messages. And guess what? People want to do what is easier for them. But that is not their nature. That's why a lot of men feel sad, depressed, like the world has failed them.
Why are men no longer obsessed with women?
Men have realized that there's men are not really obsessed with women again anymore because they don't see the reward in it. In the days, like there used to be a badge of honor saying that I bagged this woman, like I tried and I got her. But these days, it's like, what's the reward? So when men have realized that, there's no point chasing her excessively, like she's not worth it. So guys are now are beginning to focus on themselves, are beginning to know what they want and go for what they want. They're no longer going for deals that no longer pay them. So it's simple, they are prioritizing their peace, their purpose, and their life over other women, which is a good thing in the long run.
How can men become mentally tough?
Men can become mentally tough by one doing hard things, things that are difficult, things that they really want to do but have some level of difficulties. One, two, they can become mentally tough by taking risks, risk that's worth it. So, in summary, men should pick something to suffer for. When men have things they suffer for, it becomes easier to what? To become mentally tough. So, I get to suffer.
So you spoke about one of the stupid things is scrolling through social media, yeah?
Yeah, because
So,
yeah, scrolling and comparing yourself. Well,
okay, so how can I stop the scrolling of social media?
the only way I think I've seen people really stop this whole social media addiction is having something that is very worth it. When somebody has something that's if when somebody has like a goal, a passion that they are driving towards, it's easier for them to get rid of phone addiction. One, two, know that your phone was designed to just communicate and give you access to information. That's what it was built for. But now these days, people have changed the meaning of a phone to be a thing that people now are addicted to. So if you have something you're actively working towards, right? If you have things that are your to-do list, things that are very important, it will be easy to break social media scrolling. That's the that's the strongest thing I think I've seen. A strong purpose.
So you don't believe in, okay, let me just delete this app. It's taking more of my time.
Well, okay. That's called creating an environment where it is difficult to scroll over, right? But what really happens is that only works for short term, right? In the very end, if you after creating that environment, if you have nothing that you're actively working towards, right, you'll fall back to it. You will delete the app off your phone, right? You feel like you don't have anything you're focused on, so you'll be like, you know what, I'm bored, nothing to do. Let me just install the app and open it again. So that's how I feel like the most effective way to have something to do. And the second is to design your environment in a way that scrolling on social media is not hard. Hey, one more thing. I think one thing that people can use to avoid that scrolling is know that the fact that you're not scrolling means that you're not missing out on anything. I heard my friends talk about news that I missed 2 or 3 days ago. Just to hear that news is very useless news. Somebody promised somebody Lamborghini and did not buy it. So fuck what? How's that important? So yes, a lot of things that we see online are really not important and you can do without them. So have something you're doing, design your environment in a way that scrolling is not the automatic default. That is, your phone is not beside you while you're working. And three, know that because you're not online, you're not missing out on anything. There's nothing you're missing out on if you're not scrolling. Yeah.
How can young men quit porn? Porn, I guess, how can young men quit
Go
porn?
ahead, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead. Say what you want to say.
It's as if it's only the young men that watches porn.
No, it's
But
not.
no,
No.
so
A lot of elderly men are, a lot of married men are watching porn. Because a lot of married men are starved of sex. It's crazy. A lot of married men are starved of sex. And if you really, really look at it, I keep saying that the irony is it's almost like I say a very nasty joke. The joke says there is a particular drug that makes women avoid sex from their partners. It's called the wedding cake. Do you get the joke?
no.
Where women get married, all of a sudden they see a need to not have sex with the man anymore. Happens a lot.
Okay.
A lot. Though there are things that I can talk about, but it's not the point of today's stuff. Because when most men get married, they feel like they've arrived already. I have married and so forth. So now they just relax. So they're not leveling up. They're no longer playing with her emotions. So she's bored. She sees him as, I've seen you already now. See finish.
To finish.
Yeah, so I tell guys, like, guys, never allow that. Never allow that. Have the little drama. If she's not giving birth, add little drama into her life. When she gives birth, the kids are enough drama. When you get married, have drama too. If you think she has seen you enough, evolve. If you're a church boy, become a church boy who goes to the gym a lot. If you're a church boy who goes to the lot, she has seen you finish. Become a church boy a church boy who gyms a lot, who now plays. Okay, you're a church boy already. Who now plays football. Just have a way of evolving. Yeah, in a way she'll be like, okay, something's wrong somewhere. What's going on here? So How young men can quit porn is, it's like young men can quit porn by same way people quit any sort of vice, right? One, have something you're pursuing. Because if you don't pursue something, it's like it's saying that says the devil tempts every man, but the man who has nothing tempts the devil. So for young guys, what they can do is have a goal they're working towards. Two, design your environment that watching porn is not so easy. And to make it better, have girls you're talking to, right? Have girls go for the real thing. Don't go for the digital copy of it. Go out there, talk to women, and get to realize that it's better off doing the real thing than watching some other people do it. But the irony is, I heard that porn has a way of stimulating the imagination more than the real thing. That's a topic for another day.
That's something like going out, talking to women. It made me
Yeah.
realize. So I was working one day. I was coming to work, not like coming to work, per se, but I was going somewhere, and two young guys should be in their 12, 13 years. Then one of them walked up to me and was like, my friend said, I cannot tell you that you are fine. You're fine. So I'm like, okay, I guess the new generation are going to be confident.
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
That's what childish. That's childish betting, and that's a good thing. No? Trust me, that's a good thing. Having friends that push you. I mean, for a guy who is 12, 13,
Okay.
to have a friend to push him to come talk to girls is a very good thing because that person will have better social skills. The problem is with the new generation is that they are becoming more isolated than ever before, right? And this is the age of iPad kids, where you give birth to kids, you just use iPads to numb them, to distract them, so they lack social skills. This coming generation, they're going to be 10 times worse, right, than the previous generation. Do not count it like that. That's just one out of how many? How many kids have you passed? Over 10,000. It's now one that gave you comments.
No,
that
no.
They are commenting. Yeah.
So yeah, how do got in life?
I think the number one shortcut I see that every young man needs is a mentor. Speak to men who are older than him and who are better than him in certain areas of life. Is one shortcut I've seen that every young man must follow. If you hang around men that are older than you, right, are more successful, or they are better than you in some areas, you get to have all their experiences, all their thinking condensed into proper teachings. What that means is he's telling you secrets of what? Handling marriages. He's telling you secrets of it's giving you advice on how you can handle certain situations. And most importantly, right, they can tell you mistakes that they made and they don't want you to make. So the best advice is talk to people who are older than you and successful than you in a particular area. They will help you shortcut that process.
How do you fight your demon?
Most people are trying to fight their demons are doing it the wrong way. The irony is that your demons they come with your angels. So everybody chooses their demons, but the problem is so many people. Sorry, let me rephrase that. Ask again.
How do you fight your demon?
Most people are finding it hard to fight their demons, right? You don't really fight your demons because your demons are there whether they like it or not. The problem is, are you choosing your demons? So what I tell people is, zoom out from what the fuck you are doing and choose your demons carefully. Who are your demons? Your demons are the problems that come with the things you want in life. If you want to become a fine girl, I'm sorry, you're going to have problems with creeps coming up to you. If you want to become a rich man, I'm sorry, you're going to have problems with gold diggers coming your way. So it's about knowing what you're going for, knowing the demons that come into what you're going for, and being fine with that. Yeah, so about becoming friends with your demons. You can't fight your demons. Your demons are there whether you like it or not. Yep, embrace them, love them, cherish your demons like mad.
Questions everyone should ask themselves.
One question that I think everybody needs to ask themselves, that I think that most people don't, is if money was not a problem, what do you do in this life? And I got that idea from this book, The Alchemist. In this book, there's a story I think most people did not understand. It's a story of a merchant, right? He owned a store, he sold crystals. He said that his life's greatest goal, one of his life's greatest goals, is to travel to Mecca for the Islam pilgrimage. But he never did because he told himself that I will start my business first. Then I will travel to Mecca. But he says that ever since he started the business, he has never been able to travel to Mecca. Although he has seen poor people go to Mecca, he has seen rich people go to Mecca. So the real question is, what would you do, right, if money was not the problem? People should ask themselves that question, and whether I like it or not, you'll see answers that are inspiring. That is where your purpose lies.
What piece of advice do you have or have you gotten that completely changed your mindset?
I think it's the same thing. What will I do if... Okay, I think one piece of advice I think I've gotten that completely changed my mindset came from Steve Jobs. He says that if you go to your mirror every single day and ask yourself, what I'm doing right now, if this was the last day of my life, will I do it? And if the answer is no, too many times in a row, it means that you have to change something. And that made me rethink a lot of things that I do. That's why I believe tech is a dying community, and bruv, I'm out of tech. So I'm getting out of tech rather. So it's just about finding what you would do if money was not a problem. I think, yeah, that's the greatest advice I've gotten in my entire life. To live life with intentions. That's the summary of it. Living life with intentions. What next?
Why should men focus on themselves?
One reason men should focus on themselves is that's the only way they get ahead in life. You see, we keep telling men that men should focus on what? Women and other people. But the reality is, people would keep taking and taking and taking without limits. When I say men, focus on yourself is build yourself to a place where you are self-sufficient. Then you can begin to consider other people. One, two. When you focus on yourself, it's easier for you to say, nope, I don't want this, right? Because if you can't tell people what you don't want, trust me, people would ascribe what they want on you. People will force themselves on you. And if you're not somebody who wants what you want, who goes for what you want for yourself, people will ride you. Hold on. Ask it again.
Why should men focus on themselves?
Men need to focus on themselves because that is the only way to get ahead in life, to grow. You see, when you don't focus on yourself, when you focus on other people, people will keep taking and taking and taking from you. Women will take from you, your family will take from you. But when you focus on yourself, what happens? You have enough attention for yourself, you can improve yourself. And after improving yourself, you can then begin to help other people. There's a reason that in the airplane, you put on your mask first before you put on the mask of your child. Two is we live in a world that gaslights men to focus on women and problems that are not even theirs in the first place. So that's the best advice I think I'll give to guys these days. Focus on yourself. Yeah. One of the best.
One of the best advice.
One of the best.
Did you get the question?
To focus on themselves.
Why?
So they know what they want, and then they don't go for they don't allow people to use them. They know what they want, and they don't allow the society to gaslight them into going for what they don't want.
Why are men delusional these days?
A lot of men are delusional these days because for some fucked up reasons, we have told men to be more in touch with their feminine sides. So women have their own delusion quite alright, but men's delusion comes in separate ways. For example, I want women to love me for who I am. What? What does that mean? Does that mean that you want to be what? Be a mommy's boy? You don't want to improve your life, but women should love you like that. Come on, be very realistic. So I think men have become more delusional because we have told them that they should be more in touch with their feminine side. They should be more in their feelings. And in your feelings, that's not reality. That's your feelings. When you come out of reality and begin to think like a man, then you begin to become less delusional.
There are so many rules fighting this masculinity thing. So
that is what enforces discipline.
Okay.
The rules, right? That's the whole idea when women say, I want to be able to turn off my thinking and just be in my feminine state, because femininity is unpredictable. But masculinity, you are the pinnacle of consciousness. You are seen to be the highest. You are seen to be what's that word? The highest of the highest. So there are rules for being there. What you want is you want men who can get there, but without principles. It's not possible now. So yes, there are a lot of rules for masculinity. A lot of rules. That's where principles come from. And that principle that makes society move forward. Yeah. Turns out we are destroying them.
Can men and women be equal in a relationship?
Equality in a relationship is a dumb idea. It's not possible. Because first of all, women will tell you that they want to date men who are better than them. A woman will tell you that let's be equals. She feels like she has a chance of you being lower than her. And if you being lower than her feels like you now begin to irritate her. So that means if she doesn't want it, why are you looking for it in the first place? If a woman respects you, she would never want equality. Now you may say, okay, no, in my relationship I have equality. Think about this. Look at a group of women talking together, right? When the woman is there and she says that her husband is this, way above her, all of a sudden, the other women who are bragging that they are equal to her husband, they begin to feel jealous. Because women want men that are way better than them, that taller than them, richer than them, more confident than them, smarter than them. So equality is a facade and it's a big lie.
Okay, we've answered this one. Why are men not disciplined?
Okay, the reason men are not disciplined is because we live in a time where things are very comfortable. So the reward for discipline does not look obvious at first. Plus, there's a saying that strong men create good times create weak men make everything trash. So because now it's good, everything is comfortable, so men don't see a need to become disciplined. Plus, men don't have a real need, a strong why on why they should be disciplined. So that's why they're no longer disciplined.
What is your greatest hack when it comes to building muscle?
The greatest hack when it comes to building muscles, apart from diet and lifting weight, is muscle mind connection. You see, when you are lifting those weights and your mind is focused on the muscles that are being squeezed, by research, it builds the muscles faster and stronger than you doing it mindlessly. When people are lifting weights, blasting music in their ears, they are distracted. But when you focus on the muscle that they are working on, scientifically, it helps to improve strength and muscle growth. So yeah, mind-muscle connection is what it's called.
Why should people do hybrid workouts?
The best workout out there is actually the hybrid workout. So the whole idea is, instead of just lifting weights like a bodybuilder or cardio like an athlete, do both. Mix your workouts because it makes it more interesting. It's a way of burning better calories. And heck, it's a way of building the best physiques, the lean muscles. So yep, I cannot believe that it is the best form of working out, hybrid workout. We are combining weightlifting, cardio, Yeah, well, other things. But I do MMA, I do swimming, I do aerobics, I do cardio, I lift weights. I think I like my body the way it is. So
How can one create a balanced diet?
the balanced diet is a scam. It mostly comes from people who are very confused. The best diet are the diets that fit your needs at the moment. But to be very honest, I think the best diet for anybody who doesn't know what to do is more of protein, then maybe like more of protein, then fats, fruits, veggies before carbs. Right? Because a balanced diet gives nothing. You're going to end up shifting more towards carbs, which is not the best for you. So I think most people need to look at their needs and their goals first before having a diet.
What's the importance of breakfast?
Breakfast is one of the biggest scams I've been told. It was a lie that people believed was based on the research. You had a company who sells breakfast, who sells dairy, who sells cereals. He just brought up this marketing campaign saying breakfast is the most important meal. And doctors even believe that. To show you how powerful marketing and attention is. Yeah, but it's a scam. It's if you're somebody who needs his brain to function in the morning, maybe you're a tech bro, you're a fintech guy. When you eat in the morning, you see yourself being very dizzy. Certainly when you eat carbs in the morning, you notice that it's very difficult to think accurately at that moment. So I think people should skip breakfast. Grown-up people should skip breakfast. They don't want to think very well.
How long should people do workout for?
The best duration for workout is around 1 hour to 45 minutes. Anything beyond that is a high chance you're just probably wasting your time, or you have a special program that you know what you are doing. So, but for most people, 1 hour to 45 minutes is best. 90 minutes max. Anything beyond that, I don't really think you know what you are doing. Yeah, so it depends on what you want to achieve.
Does more muscle makes men attractive?
Muscles, okay, most guys get this thing wrong about muscles. Muscles will make you attractive, but to an extent. See, the brain doesn't think like the brain doesn't really think that well. So in the same way, so it tricks men to believing that the more muscles they get, the more women they attract. But at some point, building extra muscles will make you attract more guys than girls. If you help you attract more guys that want to build muscles than girls that want to be with you, because at some point it begins to look like what? A bar. It begins to look very, very swollen. The same way some women who believe that the bigger their BBL, the more men they attract. At some point, the biggest BBLs begin to look very irritating to some guys. And again, you attract more girls. So it's a lie that more muscles means more women. It's a very big fat lie. And men need to realize this.
Thank you for your time.
Yeah.